Let's get them up here now. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please have a big round of applause and a warm welcome for Yamaha Motor Racing President and Senior General Manager of Motorsport Section, Koichi Tsuji. Also, Yamaha Motor Racing Managing Director, Lynn Jarvis, and Monster Energy Company's Vice President of Sports Marketing, Mitch Covington. Welcome. Okay, Tsuji-san. Tsuji-san in the middle, please. Mitch, you over on this side, please. Lynn, down here, thank you. Welcome.
Good
Great
morning,
to see
gentlemen.
you guys. Okay, we just got some microphones coming for you now. Fantastic. I think this is now a great time because there's someone else we need to say hello to before.
Oh yes, of course. You know what? There's someone that I miss so much. It's Massimo Meregali, as he is now in Sepang preparing for the official test, of course. And I'm sure he and the rest of the crew is watching us, right? Should we wave to him?
Let's just give a quick wave to Amayo and the
Ciao,
team. We hope it's going well out in Sepang. We'll see you there in a few days.
Yes.
Okay, but for now, Lynn, I'm sure you're hoping it's going well in Sepang already. But let's just start first of all, 2018. I mentioned it was a bit of a challenge for the team, but we did see this comeback in the final races. Can you tell us how that came about?
Well, it comes about, I mean, obviously, as you said, the season was quite tough. Also, the back end of 17 was tough. When we started 18, we had hoped we would be in a more competitive level, but it was clear that that was not the case. And really, it was a long season, a hard season, but we recognized early in the season the problems that we had, and we started working on modifications. We started working on a different direction. And I really think it came about by the result of the hard effort of Japan, especially by our Japanese engineers, modifying the bike, adjusting. We were always close. We were not that far away, but we were always missing something. And I think we refound the spirit within the team. I want to thank the riders for their dedication throughout the entire year by sticking with it. And finally, we got improved performance, and we got the race win that we so desperately needed.
Okay, well, this next question is actually for both you, Lynn, and for you, Tsuji-san, because what specific lessons did you learn from last year?
And to be honest, as Lynn said, we were a very tough season last year. And but to be honest, from the last 5 races coming from the Thailand, we had a big change for the bike. And after that, we are getting faster, and we had confidence with the bike. That means we always working in the certain range where it comes from our experience. But the circumstances, you know, we jump over that range. And we had such kinds of courage to jump over that wall.
Okay.
That was a very good, I would say, lesson from last year.
Okay. Well, Lynn, Tsuji says jumping over this wall. Any other lessons from your side?
Well, I think never give up is important, you know, and it's quite difficult when you have a season and you have a long period without a win. You know, we are accustomed to winning in the past. You know, we're here in this championship to perform at our maximum level and to win. And I think that, you know, that having gone past that period, that's given us a renewed confidence again now. And I think our riders' spirit is very, very important in this. And we're fortunate that both of our riders are in, you know, I've seen them this morning. Obviously, we're ready to start this new season. We're now looking ahead. Hopefully we can put the, let's say, the experience that we have in the past, we can use it as a benefit to go into this next year. And if we can start this new Sepang test in good shape, I think we can have a very good season ahead.
Okay, so for Tsuji and Lynn, can you reveal to us here any specific areas that you've been working on, you know?
Sure, for sure, for the experience or from last year's result, we have to work lots of things for the electric or chassis and the engines. But as for our bike, the direction should be the you know the Yamaha bike is handling. So again, we will try to get back our bike spirit for this season. Then we will work to achieve, to get back our Wazuta M1 character for this year.
Okay, would you like to add something?
Yes, I think also, you know, with any team structure, there will always be changes and adjustments that need to be made. And of course, technical side is one of those, but also on the staffing side, it's also important. Some changes we will be making this season.
Okay.
In Japan, we have seen there is a new organization, a refreshed organization in Japan, headed by Tsuji-san. We have two people in particular have joined us. One is Mr. Ito, who is the General Manager of Motorsports Development Group. He's new to this year. And we also see the group leader has changed to Mr. Sumi. So Sumi-san used to be in charge of chassis design, and he's now stepped up to be the group leader. So these are two key things in Japan. Another change that's very important is the interaction between Japan and Europe. So Japan is primarily responsible for the development of the bike, but now the engineering section of Yamaha Motor Racing takes on a more significant role in the future. So we have a vehicle dynamics group there, and we have an electronics management group. And we are expanding in Europe, in Italy. So that interaction between Europe and Japan will be very important. We also have a test team. So we've always had a test team in Japan in the past with, in particular, Nakasuga and Nozane. But we have now taken a European organized test team to bring that final piece of testing closer to the performance of our Grand Prix riders. So that is Jonas Folger, and that test team will be organized in Europe. So these are changes, let's say, from an engineering level. Then on the team itself, we see some changes on both sides of the garage. So on Maverick's side of the garage, we've seen the departure of Ramon Forcada and Wilco Salenberg that have both moved to the Petronas Sepang team in important positions. But this has created an opportunity. We've changed the crew chief for Maverick. So we have Esteban Garcia as the new crew chief. And also Wilco was the rider performance analyst, helping the rider. And now we have Julian Simon, who is a famous name from his MotoGP, let's say, previous racing, in particular in Moto3 class. Yeah. So I believe that these two people, two new Spaniards in Maverick's team, will help solidify that group and bring a renewed group feeling into Maverick's side. On Valentino's side of the garage, we see another change. A famous name has retired, second retirement, because he retired from racing many years ago. I'm talking about Luca Cadalora. He spent 3 seasons with us as a rider performance analyst for Valentino, and for family reasons, he stepped down. So we have Idalio Gavira, who has stepped into the team as Valentino's new rider performance analyst. And also the Japanese key engineer on Valentino's side of the garage, we have Mr. Hoshino, who will be working closely with Valentino. Hoshino-san was in a central position last year, and he's now on Valentino's side. So the rest of the team remains the same, and I wish Maio Meregali was here to explain himself. Yeah. All of the media will have the chance to meet him in the coming days. But I think Maio Meregali, his absence today is also indicative, because this test coming up in Sepang is very, very, very important test for us. And we've chosen, with the changes that we have in the team and also the changes in YMC, it was more important for Maio to be in Sepang right now, preparing everything for the test. So I'm confident that with the technical changes we have, with the personnel changes we have, and with the riders we have and the sponsor we have, we are planning on a good season.
Yeah, well, great. I think, Mitch, this is now a perfect cue for you, because, I mean, Lin and Tsuji have just given us a great insight into all these changes, all these things you can expect. Perhaps from another point of view, though, you know, you've had this partnership for a while. not as title sponsor, that's only now. How would you describe this partnership?
I would say it fits like a glove.
Right.
Okay, it's a very natural partnership for us to continue what we've done in the past for going on almost 10 years now. We've been partners in and around MotoGP with Yamaha riders, and so when we had the opportunity to move into this title naming rights place, it was just a really natural progression for us. We've been with Tech 3 for a long time, and with the factory team as well, and with these two riders even. So they were already family. So it was a really easy partnership for us to make the decision to do. And we feel at home. I hope Yamaha feels at home with Monster on the bike as well. And so we're really excited.
I mean, Mitch, maybe a slightly more general question about Monster, but what is Monster's affiliation with racing, and just how important is having MotoGP as part of that package?
That's a great question. Monster was really built on racing. And hopefully when you see any type of racing around the world, you think of Monster. At least we hope so. Mm-hmm. And so when you ask how important is racing to Monster, I don't know if I have good words to describe that, because that's just what we do. We're a lifestyle brand, and racing is so much a part of that lifestyle that we hope we've created with the brand. Mm-hmm. And MotoGP in particular is at the top of the pyramid for us in the way of racing, because motorcycle racing really speaks to what Monster is all about. And the MotoGP series, I would argue to say, is the top motorcycle racing series in the world. So, and we feel like that we partnered also with someone that can go out and prove next year and win that championship and really be at the really point of that pyramid. And so, and two, I have to say our chairman, Rodney Sachs, has a real passion for MotoGP. He watches Moto2, Moto3, calls me in the middle of the night wherever he's at in the world to talk about the riders and what they said or what they did or the bikes, wants me to call in and find out what happened. And so it makes it a lot of fun to be in MotoGP when our leadership is that passionate about the sport.
Fantastic.
Exactly. Well, can you tell us more, Mitch, about the Yamaha and Monster Energy? Because together you have built a multi-platform alliances, right?
Yes.
And across many sports disciplines. Can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, we're in motocross, as you all know, in a very big way around the world with Supercross, the outdoor nationals in America, all the national championships around the world, and also in the World Championship over here. Yeah. We also have a Dakar program and other off-road racing programs around the world, and then the road racing program that we're talking about today. So, I'd like to say we sat down and we said, hey, let's do one worldwide deal to cover all of that. And we actually talked about it in the past. And it was difficult because all the different teams of motocross or road racing and other racing around the world, we couldn't get the contract timing to line up to do one big deal, because they would still have a year left on this team with someone else, or we'd have a year left. And it was just hard to make that puzzle fit together from a timing standpoint. So what we tried to do going into 2019 was have a clean slate. So going into 2019, when the season ended in 18, we had no sponsorships for 2019. So it was a really great time for us to marry up all of our partnerships around the world in all those different types of sports. And so without trying to go do a global deal, it was a natural fit. It just happened, because when we looked at those other sports like MXGP or Supercross, regardless of whether we had this MotoGP team or what, we want to find the best team, the one that has the best chance to win, the most that fits with our brand. And it was Yamaha every time. Mm-hmm. So it just naturally fell into place as a partnership between Monster and Yamaha. So.
Well, Lynn, I think some great words there from Mitch, a big deal of support from this title sponsor of yours. But let's also talk about other sponsors, because racing teams, they need a lot of support, and I believe it's more than 50 companies you actually work with kind of as secondary sponsors. Tell us about those relationships.
Yeah, it's you know, it's very, very important to have sponsors and partners in